All right, guys, got to talk about the next black swan. A couple of people have talked about this, and I don't think it's actually going to be a black swan, but we got to talk about this because there is a major crypto company that could possibly go insolvent or go bankrupt soon. And we are talking about Gemini. No, it's not insolvent right now, and they did not file for bankruptcy. Despite some people actually getting emails that Gemini is actually filing for bankruptcy, a couple of months ago. That was a scam. They are not. And don't pay attention to the scam email. But are they insolvent? No, the crypto exchange Gemini is not insolvent, though it has faced financial and legal challenges related to its past operations. The company resolved issues from the EARN program, which was run with now bankrupt crypto lender Genesis. Now, how much did Gemini actually lose via Genesis? About $900 million, which is why they kept on reporting year after year after year of losses after 2022. The Winklevoss twins are not bankrupt. They have a lot of money, but in America, corporate and personal finances are separate, so you can't go after their money. So EARN program insolvency. Gemini froze customer withdrawals in late 2022. This caused Gemini EARN customers to lose access to their funds. Gemini committed to returning at least $1.1 billion to EARN customers. In May 2024, Gemini announced a full recovery of digital assets for EARN users from the Genesis bankruptcy proceedings. So it's been about a year. Settlements with regulators. Gemini reached settlements with the New York Department of Financial Services and New York Attorney General Office over its management of the EARN program in February and May 2024. This included a $37 million fine paid to the NYDFS. In August 2025, Gemini filed for an initial public offering and disclosed losses in the first half of the year. While the company is not yet profitable, its revenue has increased and it has more than 500,000 active users. So I think they lost something like $200 million in 2023, $225 million in 2024, but they are not yet insolvent. And they did actually get a $75 million credit agreement from Ripple, and that was to finance the Gemini credit card. Obviously, Ripple wanted themselves and RLUSD in the crypto credit card business, so they kind of tapped Gemini, which was in need of money. Now, like I said, Gemini, I think, is going to depend on its IPO to get it out of the debt bubble. Now, the thing is, that's not very concerning. Gemini has been running for many, many years, and now that it's not even really profitable, and it's hoping for the IPO to bail them out, not a great thing. Now, I don't really know how many people are actually going to buy Gemini. I'm expecting, like all the other crypto companies, that the stock will actually go up after the IPO, but it's really hard for me to say whether I will be correct or not in that assessment. I could be entirely wrong in that assessment. So, and plus, the market could actually turn sour after their IPO, so we don't really know. And they didn't file for bankruptcy. It remains operational, though the company was heavily impacted by the bankruptcy of its former partner Genesis Global Capital. Gemini has since settled with regulators and is in the process of returning billions of dollars to its customers. So essentially, Gemini's troubles stemmed from its Gemini EARN program, which offered customers high yields by lending their crypto to Genesis. In November of 22, Genesis froze customer redemptions, leaving 232,000 Gemini EARN users with over $1 billion in losses. Gemini filed for bankruptcy in January 2023. Regulator settlements in February 2024, Gemini settled with the New York Department of Financial Services (NYDFS), agreeing to return at least $1.1 billion to EARN customers. The NYDFS investigation found Gemini had engaged in unsafe and unsound practices. In March 2024, Genesis reached a settlement to repay Gemini EARN customers about $2 billion in frozen crypto assets. This amount represented a 100% recovery based on the appreciated value of digital assets. Gemini also contributed $50 million to the recovery to ensure customers were made whole. And of course, current status, Gemini continues to operate and has been making moves to expand its services. I mean, they're trying to expand, but they're not profitable yet, and they've lost a lot of money in previous years if you look at their kind of financial statements. Yes, Gemini has incurred significant financial losses, reporting a net loss of $282.5 million for the first half of this year, 2025, and previously faced issues with the Gemini EARN program, which resulted in customer frozen funds and the loss of over $1 billion. So, don't really know how healthy this IPO is. And I think like it's basically depending on the grace of a good crypto market rollout to actually get out of its bad financial troubles, which means if the IPO doesn't raise enough money, they could definitely be in trouble. These losses in the first half of 2025 were winding from a net loss of 41.4 million on 74.3 million in revenue during the same cycle last year. So last year they lost money as well. So yeah, I don't think I would invest in Gemini. And could it, like, if Gemini just fell apart, which I believe there is a somewhat chance of, would it cause like an FTX types collapse? No, I don't think so, because I don't think Gemini is as big as FTX. Although I will say it's probably one of the three big American exchanges. Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini are the three big known ones. So Gemini going kaput would have a psychological effect, but not in the same way that FTX did, because it just doesn't have the same overarching reach and money, the same overarching reach and money as FTX. But it could definitely cause somewhat of a dip, because a lot of users have their money with Gemini, obviously. So this is one of the reasons why you should withdraw money from exchanges and not keep it on there forever unless you're actively trading. If you're actively trading, it's perfectly fine. But if you're not actively trading, I would take it off the exchanges if you want to put it in your own custody. And that's because, if these exchanges go kaput, especially the centralized exchanges, there's sometimes clauses in there where they can claw back your money, and you might have a hard time getting your money back. Now, Gemini is given a little bit of confidence that they did actually give all the earned users their money back, every last cent, but that is still not a promise that will always happen if the company itself goes bankrupt. Remember, the company itself did not go bankrupt last time. They lost a ton of money, but they didn't go bankrupt. But I am not sure about the financial health of said company at this specific point, so I obviously would not give it 100% approval. Now, after this, I need to say something about me versus a coyote. I think I could easily take down a coyote. Now, some of my watchers, like 88 Metal Mania, do not believe a man can take down a coyote, but I definitely believe it. I've actually done a little bit of internet research. I asked directly, AI, can an adult defeat a coyote in a fight? And it answered, in most circumstances, a single healthy adult human can defeat a coyote in a fight due to significant advantages in size, weight, and intelligence. However, it would be a dangerous and potentially life-threatening encounter that should be avoided at all costs. In almost all cases, a coyote will retreat from a human if intimidated. So you could intimidate them, but if you had to fight them to the death, assuming they didn't have rabies, you could actually come out alive, although with injuries. So obviously, coyotes weigh an average of 20 to 50 pounds, roughly probably a median of like 30, 35, while a typical adult human is much larger. I think like a typical male, maybe like 160, 170, maybe a little bit more. A human's superior body mass can be used to overpower and pin the animal to the ground. You could also uppercut it in the balls. Standing upright makes a person appear larger and more intimidating, which can make the coyote think twice about attacking. Of course, we're talking about unarmed combat, because if I can use tools, I could easily destroy a coyote. I could destroy a fleet of coyotes with tools. And of course, we asked Reddit as well, an American man versus a coyote. You can substitute American with any other man. And of course, the question was, this has been a long-standing argument between my friends and I. I believe I can beat a coyote in a life or death fight. I do as well. For the coyote statistics, I'm using a Google search, so the coyote should weigh 14 to 46 pounds, be 1.9 to 2.2 feet tall at the shoulder length, and have a maximum speed of 43 miles an hour. For an American man, I'll use my stats, so 5'11", 160. I'm about 5'10 and a half, 5'11", about 175, so I'm a little bit larger than this guy. And many people are saying there is literally one recorded human death to a coyote attack, and that was to a pack versus a smallish woman. So it took a pack to take a smallish woman down. I think I could easily take one coyote by myself. Coyotes are small enough that you could literally pick one up and swing it into a tree or the ground and beat it to death with itself. American man wins handily. So I agree with this, but I'm a little surprised at the different opinions. Coyotes aren't trained like attack dogs, which would mess us up, and I'm pretty sure are smaller. Some people are like, yes, they're the size of a lamb. And some people are saying coyotes are much smaller than them. I have seen coyotes. I think a lot of people mistake coyotes with wolves, which are many times bigger. And for the record, no, I don't think I could actually attack an adult gray wolf. I don't think I would be completely helpless, but I would not win against like an adult gray or red wolf. So yeah. So a lot of people are thinking, some people are thinking that they can't, but most people in this forum actually do think that yes, an American man can actually beat a coyote. So basically, like, I think you could win, but I've always thought that I could take out an average coyote. Blah, blah, blah. Most coyotes are pretty small, and 100-pound plus weight advantage is significant. That being said, I've seen some German Shepherd sized coyotes that I definitely wouldn't want to mess with. Yeah, basically, like, if you can get a grapple on it, it's pretty much dead. Coyotes are small enough, you could probably beat it to death with your feet or gouge its eyes. I don't know about gouging its eyes out. I think that'd be too hard. I don't have the agility to do that, but you could probably kick it once and it would probably die. Now, PETA would probably get mad at me, but I could probably take PETA down as well, so I don't really care about that. But yes, I think overall, like, an American man or any man that's like, 5'10", 5'11", could most likely take down a coyote. And coyotes honestly don't look all that scary. They're kind of a cross between a fox and a wolf. They could easily outrun me, but if you look at like this coyote here, like, it just does not look that scary. It just looks like a really large fox or a medium-sized dog. Now, I couldn't take down my dog in a fight. My dog weighs like 100 pounds. It's like 3 times the size of a coyote. But, like a medium-sized small dog, if I had to fight it to the death, I think I could probably beat it. And that's why coyotes don't hunt large animals. They usually do hunt in packs. But even packs, they won't like target like huge animals. They'll try to target like rabbits and stuff and like, gang up on them and kind of like close off its small escape paths. But I don't think it would actually target an adult human. But if I was bloodlusted and the coyote was bloodlusted, I definitely think I could take it down. No questions involved or asked. Definitely would get a few scratches, but as long as the coyote did not have rabies, I would come out victorious, and it would have to basically be dead or limp away in shame. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.